Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video on 7.2.3 Set in Stone, Supercharge and Vigor. Now, the defenders are pretty easy and straightforward here. You got some 3 science champions, 2 skill and 1 mystic champion, and the nodes are going to be Mystic Ward, Supercharge and Vigor. So do not use Mystic Champions because there's a Mystic Ward there that reduces their nullify abilities by 95%. And then there's going to be Vigor, so every now and then, every 25% of health, the defender will gain HP. And with Supercharge, every 15 seconds, there will be a power gain that will give them 20% bar of power. Now these all can be reversed if you use Petrify champions, so they are the best ones for this path. Just bring in Science champions with Petrify, that will reverse both of them and you can easily do the path. It's an easy path, but you can also bring in same class champions as the defender to get superiority, and once you get superiority, there is a node here set in stone that helps you out. So first thing, you do not need to hit the opponent in their block. If you hit the opponent in the block, you as an attacker will get Petrify, and that will reduce your power gain and HP gain by 100%. Instead, try and intercept them, and that will put a Petrify on the opponent and will reduce their healing and their power gain from Supercharge and Vigor. All in all, it's a very simple and easy path. Even if you don't bring in Petrify champions, you can just play around it, you can bait specials out, and you can easily finish off this path. As we jump into the first fight, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications and leave a comment down below guys. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. So your first fight is against a Human Torch. Now pretty simple fight. The only thing you need to take care about is not to get hit by the last projectile on the special 1 and special 2, because that will give you smolders, and when you have smolders on you, even if you hit him defensively, Human Torch will apply incinerates on you that will give you damage. And to counteract that, I have Moleman here. Firstly, I'm getting class advantage with Moleman. Secondly, I'm going to apply bleeds, and Human Torch is very susceptible to bleeds. And third, if I get any incinerate, Moleman can easily shrug off. So the Moleman is a really good champion against him. You can also use other science champions. I would say science champions because that will give you superiority, and you can use them to apply Petrify on him, and you can reverse all the heals and the power gain he will get from Supercharge and Vigor. So Void is a really good champion against him because he's not only he can apply Petrify, he's also Incinerate immune. Same goes for Red Hulk, and other champions that can work here as well is Human Torch himself. So yeah, the fastest way would be to either bring in the same class as the defender, or you can bring somebody what I'm doing with a class advantage and just kill him off. The next defender is going to be a Ronin, who's pretty easy to deal with. I have brought in Colossus with Omega Red Synergy, so I am just gonna parry and heavy my way, and with all of those charges of armor, my damage will increase and I can kill him off easily. Again, with Vigor and Supercharge, whenever they activate, just stay back, and if the defender is above 2 bars of power, just be wary that he might go to a special 3. So it's always best that to always keep the defender at 1 bar of power and bait it out. Do not give him 2 bars of power because there might be a chance that with Supercharge he might go to 3 bars of power. So yeah, just keep baiting it out and you just throw your specials, and that's about it. Ronin is a pretty easy defender to deal with. Next up is going to be Sentry. Now Sentry, again, it's a pretty easy champion. Now for the first time I'm trying to use superiority here, so you will notice I just dropped an intercept and he gets a petrify on him for 15 seconds, and all I'm gonna try to do is to be very aggressive with him and build up those furies on She-Hulk, and that will make the defender throw specials. Once the defender throws special, I can go in and then try and intercept every 3 or 4 hits, and that will put the petrifies, and when the Supercharge and Vigor trigger, they will be reversed as well, so that will give quite a lot of damage to the opponent and he will not have bar of power. So that is the whole concept behind it. So you can again use that, or you can just bring in a skill champion, bring a class advantage, and you can use that against Sentry as well. All in all, it's a pretty easy part. The nodes are not really difficult. You don't even notice them. You don't need to bring in petrified champions as well. You can bring in any champion except Mystic class, and you can easily do the path on its own. Just make sure that whenever the defender is above 1 bar of power and he's about to trigger Supercharge and Vigor, just stay back and just easily bait out the specials and go back in, and it's pretty simple and straightforward. The next defender is going to be a Masacre. Now usually he's very easy to deal with, but if you bring in Incinerate Immune champion, remember that he will give you energy damage. That is quite a lot and he hits really hard, so make sure that if you're gonna bring in a somebody champion that is going to be Incinerate Immune, you just stay away and play a no parry style. Now having said that, his specials are very easily evadable, especially his SP1. Do not push him to an SP2 because his projectile does a lot of damage even in block. Unless you're good with evading that, I would suggest you to keep him to an SP1 and keep baiting that out. And it can be very easy to push him to an SP2 with the supercharge power gain, so just be careful about that. Just make sure you keep baiting out and you can easily kill him off. Use a champion that has taunt, or use the same class champion as like skill to get superiority, and you can try and do some intercepts and apply that petrify debuff on him to keep his power and his HP under control. And then we have the Hood as a defender. Now there are quite a few options you would use. Do not bring in Mystic champions. You will get the superiority, but they will not be effective because of Mystic both the nullify and stagger effects are reduced by 95%. Instead, I would suggest you to bring in science champions to get natural class advantage, or you can bring in somebody like Blade because you can get a danger sense bonus from it, and you can use that to kill Hood off. Now with Hood, just make sure you always keep him to an SP1. Do not push him to an SP2 because he will go invisible, and after invisible he goes stun immune, so that creates all sorts of problems. So the best 2 champions you can take against him are going to be either Blade, or you can also bring in Human Torch and you can easily kill him off. It might take a little longer, but this fight can be easily done with baiting SP1s out. And the last fight before the boss is going to be a Luke Cage. Now I mess up a lot here. I am using She-Hulk. She-Hulk works amazingly against Luke Cage because Luke Cage is a large champion, and the bigger the champion is, the longer the Furies stay on She-Hulk, and you can stack them together. I do lose my combo on my Furies quite a lot here, 2 or 3 times, so I drop all of my Furies. Otherwise this fight could be much shorter. So the whole concept is again to build up my Furies and let him get aggressive on throwing his specials. And he does not have bar of power, I can go in, use 4-hit combos, swipe back, and then go for the intercept. And because She-Hulk is the same class as the defender, so she is getting superiority, so whenever I will intercept, she will apply a petrify on the opponent, reducing the HP and power gain from Vigor and Supercharge. But as you will notice, I do make quite a few mistakes, but this kind of fight can be done much more cleaner. So yeah guys, you can make the fight easier if you bring in Void, or if you bring in any science champion or anybody with petrify. This fight could be could end much faster. Just there will be a little annoyance of invulnerability every now and then. He will go invulnerable after the cooldown, and that will just prolong the fight for no reason. And finally, we have the boss fight against Punisher 2099. Now, there are different champions that you can use. The main thing you need to know is power struggle. Is whenever the defender will gain bar of power, only then the attacker will gain as well. So you need to dump your power as soon as you get it. So bring in champions that have good SP ones that can do some damage. In my case, last video I did a different champion. I did with Vision. This video we are gonna do with Colossus with Omega Red Synergy. So all I'm trying to do is to use parry and heavy and some hits, and as soon as I get an SP1, I will just throw it to do some damage. bonus, I sometimes get a stun, so I can also hit him more. So it's all about building up those armor charges. Once you have 10 to 12 armor, you can start using basic hits, and that will do a lot of damage to him. So yes guys, that's pretty easy and straightforward. You either need to bring a tanky champion, or you need to bring a champion that has a power drain or power steal on SP1. So I'm talking about somebody like, you can bring in a Vision, you can also bring in Gilly 2099, and also tanky champions like Colossus with Omega Red will work. Another damage over time champion that will work will be Domino with Red Hulk. Also Cable with Apocalypse can work. So there are different options you can go for. You can either go for damage over time, you can either go for tanky champion and tank that block damage, or you can also go with champions that have power steal or power drain on their SP1s. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips and tricks and you find it helpful. If you did guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications, and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. All of that really helps me grow the channel. And apart from that guys, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.